Hi friends, welcome to Beautifully Bookish Bethany. In today's video, I'm going to be recommending some books that are fantastic Shakespeare retellings. As somebody who loves a lot of Shakespeare's work and loves a good retelling, I thought this would be fun. So in today's video, I'm going to be recommending 7 books that I think are really great across a couple of different genres that are retellings of Shakespeare in some way. This is also the start of a new series of videos where I will be recommending different retellings. So we're starting with Shakespeare, but I have more to come because I am someone who enjoys classic literature and also enjoys a contemporary take on a classic. So let's go ahead and dive into my 7 recommendations for people who are interested in reading retellings of Shakespeare's work. If you know anything about Shakespeare, you know that he liked to write a good rom-com. He is one of the original writers of rom-coms. And so some of the books that I have to recommend are romances. So first up, we have Two Wrongs Make a Right by Chloe Lease, which is a contemporary romance retelling of my personal favorite Shakespeare play, Much Ado About Nothing. For me, this is the ultimate enemies to lovers with great banter. I love it. And what's cool about this retelling is it features characters who are disabled and neurodivergent, which Chloe Lease likes to include in her books. I do know it's the start of a series of Shakespeare retellings. I have not read the other ones quite, so I can't speak to those, but this one was phenomenal and truly very romantic. This follows Bea and Jamie, who really butt heads with each other but are pushed together by their friends and family. When they find out that their loved ones have been trying to meddle in their love life, they decide to fake date as revenge, but then it turns into something real. And again, it is wonderfully romantic. I loved this. Bea is autistic and James has anxiety and OCD, so they're both dealing with different things that impact them in their lives and impact the way that they relate to each other, but they're able to work through it, and I think it's lovely. They do a really great job of understanding and making space for each other, and as a retelling of Much Ado About Nothing, it does a really good job. The other retelling of Much Ado About Nothing that I have to recommend is Tastes Like Shocker by Nisha Sharma. This is so good. It's also part of a Shakespeare romance series where all of the books are retellings, but the characters are South Asian. In this story, we have 2 characters who butt heads. They don't like each other at all, but they're forced to work together because they're part of a wedding party. And then it seems that somebody is trying to sabotage the wedding, and they're on the case to try to figure it out to save the day for their friends. And along the way, things get pretty steamy. While the Chloe Lease book is more of a slow burn, uber romantic take on Much Ado About Nothing, this is a more funny, steamy take on it that also has a mystery plot engine. And I just genuinely love Nisha Sharma's writing. I love this series. If Shakespeare was an auntie, they're great. And I'm gonna recommend another book in the series as well. That one is Marriage and Masti. This one is a friends to lovers romance inspired by Twelfth Night. And it's got a lot of external conflict that is driving things with regards to family members and the businesses that they own. I thought this was really compelling, really cool. And what's neat about this one in particular is it gets into South Asian wedding traditions, which are cool. I do know this is written for a South Asian audience, but as somebody who's not part of that community, it's a really cool way to learn more about the culture and also read a fun, steamy romance. So both of those are great. I have not yet read Dating Dr. Dill, which is the first book in the series, but I believe it is a retelling of The Taming of the Shrew. So if you want to read all 3, those are a great suggestion. Next is something that is still a romance, but a little bit different. This is Mortal Follys by Alexis Hall. This is less of a retelling as it is drawing inspiration from Shakespeare, but I think if you're a Shakespeare nerd, you'll really enjoy this book in a way that maybe not everybody will. This is a sapphic historical fantasy romance where a young noblewoman must pair up with an alleged witch in order to ward off a curse. What I think is particularly fun about this book is it's narrated by Puck from A Midsummer Night's Dream. And this has a lot of the vibes of Midsummer Night's Dream in the story, even though it's not a direct retelling. It's pulling a character from that play in it. It's got references to Shakespeare and to other literary things. So I feel like if you're a Shakespeare nerd, if you like classic literature, you're gonna kind of geek out about it. But it's also a really great historical fantasy romance with two women getting together. It's funny, it's got banter, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek in a way that worked for me with Puck being the narrator. I thought it was hilarious and I had a blast with it. So I think if you enjoy Midsummer Night's Dream, this might be a great book to pick up. Then for a more serious tone, Teach the Torches to Burn by Caleb Roehrig is a queer retelling of Romeo and Juliet that I loved. I think it does an incredible job playing homage to the original, but also creating something that's its own. This is part of a series that I'm going to be referencing in this and in other videos that I plan to make that's called Remixed Classics. Authors from marginalized backgrounds are retelling classic literature. It's such a great series. There's a lot of really great books in this, but this is the Shakespeare one that I think is done really well. Romeo and Juliet, of course, is known for having a forbidden romance, and in this case it's truly forbidden because Romeo is in love with Mercutio's younger brother, and Juliet, who gets caught in the middle, is actually Ace. So if you wished that Romeo and Juliet was more gay and slightly less tragic, this might be a great retelling for you. I thought it was beautifully written and really neatly done. Again, it's calling back to the original, but in a way that feels really fresh, and I loved it as a retelling. Next is one of my all-time favorite books. I think this is so good, y'all. I really should do a reread of it. I'm about due. This is The Queens of Venice Lear by Tessa Gratton. Perhaps unsurprisingly, this is in fact a fantasy retelling of King Lear from the perspective of the three daughters. It is beautifully written. It is so layered and nuanced and tragic, and I love this book so much. It's also doing some really interesting things with gender and sexuality with one of the sisters, and I liked the way that it was interacting with the constraints placed on women during this time period, except of course there is a bit of magic, which there's a bit of magic in King Lear as well, so I think it works out well. But yeah, this is an incredible book. I wish more people would pick it up. Tessa Gratton's writing is so beautiful and so lyrical. It's for sure a slow burn, but each of the sisters have a very different personality, a very different perspective, and the way that they interact with each other is also really fascinating. So highly recommend this if you haven't picked it up yet. I'm gonna throw one more recommendation in here that is not exactly a retelling, but is Shakespeare adjacent. And if you haven't read it and you like Shakespeare, I think you might enjoy it. This is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I love this. This is a dark academia novel. It follows a group of theater students in college who are super messy. There's a mystery thriller element to this story, and they're putting on a showing of Macbeth. I think they put on other Shakespeare plays as well, if I'm not misremembering through the course of the book, but one of the big ones is Macbeth, and everyone knows it's the cursed play, right? So it fits well for kind of a dark academia mystery thriller novel. I love this. It has a lot of Shakespeare in it. It has a lot of Shakespearean tragic elements to it, and I think it's a lot of fun if you like dark academia. So if you haven't picked it up yet, I would recommend this one. While you're reading your Shakespearean retellings and waiting for my next retelling rec video, don't forget to go and check out the trip that I'm co-hosting with my friend Izzy from Happy for Now in Costa Rica in January 2026. We're doing a relaxing bookish retreat in Costa Rica. There are currently 5 early bird spots left available, and it's going to be a great time. So link is down below if you're interested in joining us for a fun, relaxing, bookish getaway. So there you go. Everything from rom-coms to murderous tragedies. Shakespeare did it all, and I'm recommending it all. I know there are many more retellings than this, but these are some of the ones that I've read and really loved. If you made it to this point in the video, leave me an emoji down below that makes you think of Shakespeare or theater. Curious to see what everybody comes up with. Or for a question of the day, I would love to hear what your favorite Shakespeare retelling is. This could be a book, this could be a film. There's a lot of great film retellings as well. So let me know in the comments down below what is one of your favorites. If you like this video, it always helps if you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.